There are so many different facets to a healthy DeFi ecosystem that were not on the network maybe 2 years ago, last cycle, 4 years ago. But right now, today, they're almost all here.
So we have Juno today from Orbit. We've been seeing a lot of stuff on social media about what they're doing, but I wanted to get some more details. Juno, thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Juno, it's absolutely my pleasure. To kick this off, can you just kind of tell us what Orbit is?
Yeah, Orbit at its core is an up and coming trading platform. And a trading platform to me is kind of something that consolidates a lot of different maybe solutions that people use when trading into kind of like one space so that they don't have to have multiple browsers open when they're trading.
Okay, well, that makes sense. So are you kind of aggregating the different things we have built on Hedera, like Bonzo and all the different dexes and all that kind of stuff? How's it work
Yeah.
exactly?
I don't want to use the term aggregating because I know a couple other people are using aggregating. And to me, aggregating is like an automated thing where a solution or a provider chooses the best option for you. We're not necessarily doing that. We are just providing all of the options. So people can trade on any DEX. We're going to work to implement every DEX kind of into Orbit, but we're not choosing routes for users. We're just offering all of the routes that exist on the network to every user. So yeah.
No, that makes sense. So, what gaps did you see in the Hedera DeFi ecosystem that you looked at and you felt like it needed to be filled?
Yeah, I mean the most notable one from like a standards level to other networks is like limit orders and just kind of more advanced market orders for barbarians or H barbarians on the network. Like there's only Diffuse Labs right now that's offering a order book, and that's great, but we need more options. Like every network has probably 5 to 6 to 7 different ways to do this. So it's great that we have one option, but that was one big gap that we wanted to fill. And then yeah, I mean there isn't really this kind of cohesive trading platform that exists on the network. And if you go look at Solana, they have like 3 to 4 different trading platforms that are all kind of slightly different. Maybe some are catered more towards like stocks or a stock exchange type of TradFi UX. Some are more degenerate that are focused heavily on like pump fun or meme job type of stuff. We want to kind of cater to both. I think HBAR and the HBAR community is a really exciting community because we have really kind of more serious toned people on the network, investors that want to invest in tech, that want to invest in like blue chip or real companies. But then you also do have the retail scene that wants to make money where they can make money. So Orbit's great because we can kind of deliver both. And that's kind of one thing that we're focused on is we want, like I predict that HBAR and the HBAR network is going to have a lot of new users specifically interested in real world assets moving forward. And in my opinion, Orbit has a great opportunity to kind of deliver access to like a constantly updating feed of these RWA projects. So we want those to be easily accessible for those crowds, but we also want to be able to kind of scan meme job 24/7 so that retail can get in on the earliest token as soon as it launches. So we want to cater to both because I think both crowds that are going to be on the network are totally valid. So
Makes perfect sense. So the next thing I want to get into, you mentioned the limit orders. I want to know a little bit about the future of Orbit and what your vision is. So what are some of the features that we're going to have initially, and then what's your plan for the roadmap and the future of Orbit?
yeah, so we're launching with limit orders, instant buy features that hasn't really been done on the network yet. So like if you click buy, it's just going to buy. There's no pop-ups. You don't have to approve the transaction. And that's kind of something that as our own internal wallet, which is non-custodial, we kind of had to and got to choose, what does a trading wallet actually have to do? Hashpack and a lot of solutions on the network right now kind of already, I don't want to say like they are secure and they are operating exactly how they should for the average user. But when you're trading, it's like, do I actually need to approve this transaction? Do I actually need to tell my wallet to approve this or to give allowance to this when time is of the essence? And it's like, no, we can kind of just code it in a way that you don't have to see that or do that. And we can only do that because we're a trading wallet. I would never do something like that if we were trying to be like an ecosystem wallet or a wallet for the average user. That's a little bit too kind of wild, wild west. But for trading, we can do things like that to facilitate a faster trading experience. So there's that. We're launching with that. Points and leaderboard, so kind of gamifying what trading can be and kind of giving like a social competition edge to it. Users can kind of farm and accrue points. Those points can be used as rewards or It's kind of vague what the points can be used for, but because we're using a point system, we can do a lot of cool things with that. So that's exciting. And then in the future of Orbit, we want to continue to onboard and integrate into every DEX solution on the network. So, Meme Job is happening basically right after we go launch. I think our backend Solidity developer is already jumping on it because he just finished some of this current Sprint stuff. So he's already getting started ahead on Meme Job integration, Silk Swap, H Suite, all of the DEXs. We want to integrate with everyone. So that's kind of on the roadmap. Like staking, we want to offer staking for our token down the road internally. I really like Dobu's liquid staking mechanism. I've always loved it. I think it's phenomenal. So we'll probably do something like that. ERC support, cross-chain support. We are thinking down the road for sure about maybe expanding over to Base, XRP. We'll see. It's kind of hard. Like, I don't, stepping into a saturated network like Solana, that's crazy. They already have the solutions. But filling the same gap that exists on other maybe smaller networks is something that we could look into. Other features, multi-wallet support. I kind of want to do it, which is kind of just letting users in Orbit trade with multiple wallets, maybe at the same time. So rather than hit buy and you only buy 100 HBAR into one token, you're doing that on 3 wallets at the same time. So it kind of lets people just trade at a more kind of large level. We want to bring our data in-house, which will be happening very soon, especially after, I don't know if you saw Dex Screener going offline for the last 24 hours. That is a really good opportunity for us to bring our data in-house and provide our own charting, which would never, we wouldn't go down like Dex Screener goes down. And so we will be doing that at some point. And then that kind of lets us do more heady chart overlays, which is really good data visualization when trading. So there's a lot of freedom and a lot of cool things that we can do once we bring the data fully in-house. We have features lined up until October, I think. So we're pretty committed to just continuing to build out the full scope of what we wanted to accomplish with Orbit and beautifying as we do that.
It seems like you aren't necessarily happy with where we are right now in the Hedera DeFi ecosystem, but you're passionate about what the potential is. What's your outlook for the Hedera DeFi space as a whole?
I'm super bullish. Again, all of the builders that I've been talking to for the last probably 2 months, ever since Consensus, the Consensus was last May, but if you're building on the network right now and you've been building on the network, you, I think, are firmly aware of how much it's changed and how much it's improved. There are so many different facets to a healthy DeFi ecosystem that were not on the network maybe 2 years ago, last cycle, 4 years ago. But right now, today, they're almost all here. We have Bonzo, we have stablecoin liquidity, USDC booming. Crazy good things are happening for the ecosystem, and it's all happening at the same time. Kind of, it's like a culmination of efforts, right? It started with Saucer Swap getting built. That was step one of DeFi existing on the network. And since that moment, every different kind of mechanism, in my opinion, that's needed for a really healthy DeFi boom has been built and has been kind of implemented. So I'm super bullish. I think HBAR and the network as a whole has never been this close to having the training wheels off, let's say. And that's really exciting. I think Bonzo will continue to see the success that they have. And in my opinion, I think collateral lending is genius. I think it's one of the best things about DeFi, and moving liquidity into the ecosystem, growing it, letting people then have more liquidity to then go play in the ecosystem. It's phenomenal. So, just having Bonzo alone actually exist, I think, is a huge catalyst for DeFi. And then we've got really cool things like Origin coming, and that's crazy. Letting retail get in at IPO prices, that's just a sweet freaking gig. So I think there's a lot of cool things that are coming around on HBAR. And then Orbit, obviously. It's exciting. We're in addition to Orbit and Bonzo and all these companies, we're trying to facilitate what a mature DeFi ecosystem looks like, and we are very close to that. And I think that can only benefit the average person on the network when they have all of these different kind of realms of DeFi to then play in. We're really excited about that.
So, Juno, what are some of the next steps, and how are people going to be able to get involved?
Yeah, I think the best way to get involved is to come join the Discord. We are there me and Weston are there all the time. We're doing a really good job of keeping it updated with links, resources to the latest information. What's coming next? We are finishing our sprint in about 13 days. We should be going live in about 13 days. And then, users will be able to go in. Originally, we thought we were going to gate access to the platform behind the NFTs that we have. We're not doing that. We're just going to open it up to the public in 13 days. And we're really happy about that. The NFTs are kind of built for the power user. So if you end up in orbit and you're trading a lot, if you get the fully maxed out rewards through the NFTs, you're actually getting the cheapest swaps on the network by like 0.3%, which is pretty significant. I think if you're trading directly in Saucer Swap, it's about a 0.5 or a 0.47% swap fee when you're using their front end UI. If you go into orbit, it's only a 0.2. So, for high velocity or high volume traders, that totally adds up over time. So that's a pretty sweet gig.
All right. No, that sounds good to me. I'm looking forward to the platform. It looks beautiful. I saw that trailer. I'll put that throughout this entire video. We appreciate your time coming on here today, telling us about the platform, and good luck.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
I'm now posting these interviews of Hedera builders independently to my channel. The community, influencers, and media outlets are free to use this content to spread the word on what's being built on Hedera. Once they're all uploaded, you'll be able to go to my channel and search for whatever topic or team you're interested in to find more information. Or you'll be able to get the most recent Hedera news by watching the latest HBAR Weekly update. So check them out.